In a study conducted in 1935, it was found that the topic adults most wanted to learn about was health. It was natural for people to want to be healthy, and they had various resources for it. The second topic adults most wanted to learn about was human relationships. This was also natural because people wanted to get along with others and influence them. The problem was that there was no written source offering practical advice on how to solve daily relationship problems. If there were any, they were too academic and far from practical. This explains why people were so interested in this subject. At that time, there was a need for knowledgeable individuals in human relations, leaders in a sense, and not just in companies, but in all areas of society, institutions, organizations, and even in personal relationships. Leadership was especially a concept built on human relationship skills. However, there were very few people with expertise in this area. This research is of great importance to adult education because this study revealed that the skills of the person sitting in the leadership chair were more important than the conjugation of Latin verbs. As a result, many authors, including Dale Carnegie, began writing books on this subject. These books were taught in various places to eliminate ignorance in this area, and it worked. Many people became more confident. Many achieved greater success. They built stronger relationships. In this video, we will examine how these people became successful and developed leadership under 3 main headings. We will cover how to communicate better with people in both daily life and work, how to make yourself heard, persuade, influence, and become a charismatic leader who inspires others. Let's get started. The first is, of course, effective speaking. In fact, just being a good speaker, even if you have no other skills, puts you ahead of most people. You will stand out in society and encounter better opportunities in life. On the contrary, if you have many good skills but are not a good speaker, those skills won't matter much. Effective speaking is that important. To better understand this, I'll share a real story with you. Godfrey Meyer was a bank clerk with grey hair and 11 children. He had been working on Wall Street for 25 years and lived in Clifton, New Jersey. He had not been very active in community relations and knew about 500 people. He was attending Dale Carnegie's courses at the time. The day came for him to give his first speech in class, and when he stood up, his tongue became tied, his brain froze, and he was filled with fear. As weeks went by, he gradually overcame this fear. He even realized that he enjoyed speaking. The larger the audience, the more he enjoyed speaking. After these courses, one day he faced a tax issue and was stunned. Normally, he would have sat at home and gotten angry, but instead, he went to a town meeting. After listening to his passionate speech, the people of Clifton encouraged Meyer to run for the local government. Meyer ran from one meeting to another for weeks, talking about the injustices at the town hall. There were 96 candidates in that area, and when the votes were counted, it turned out Meyer had received more votes than anyone else. He had almost become the hero of the people overnight. As a result of his speeches, he made 80 times more friends than he had in 25 years. His story is a typical example that leadership is something that belongs to people who can speak. That's how important speaking is. It allows you to express yourself better and get people to listen to you willingly. This can give you unlimited confidence, stronger relationships, greater success, effective persuasion skills, and much more. Therefore, don't neglect the speaking part. So how can we speak effectively? There is only one answer: practice. You need to face your fears here. According to a study, more than half of people say they would prefer to die rather than speak in front of 1 million people. So don't start with 1 million people. Dale Carnegie would force his students to speak in class. You should push yourself too. For example, you can start by speaking with your friends, then maybe with your family, school, or work colleagues, and later with larger audiences. Or, if you prefer, you can start by recording yourself in front of a camera. If you're confident, you can even share your videos on YouTube. You might even make money. According to Carnegie, the way to gain self-confidence is to face the things you fear and keep track of your successful experiences. You should do the same and not give up. Now, let's move on to our second topic, charisma. Contrary to popular belief, charisma is not just about outward attractiveness. Charisma is a magnetic force that makes people believe in you, be influenced by you, and follow you. Charismatic people's attitudes, behaviors, speech, their stance in situations, and their reactions to events affect others. But charisma doesn't happen by accident. It is built upon 3 fundamental elements: presence, warmth, and power. Presence is about making people feel your existence. A charismatic leader makes others feel their presence by being fully focused on the person they are talking to or the group they are engaging with. When people sense this, they perceive the message more powerfully and value what is being said. For example, when a leader is giving a speech or listening to someone, they make eye contact, give their full attention, and radiate strong self-confidence. In this way, people see them as a true leader. Warmth is about showing trust and sincerity toward others. Leadership is not just about showing your presence, but also about empathizing, being supportive, and becoming a figure that people love. For example, when you truly listen to someone, you show that you value them. I'm talking about listening without thinking about how you'll respond, simply trying to understand what they are saying. A good speaker is also a good listener. This is warmth. But there is also power. Charisma is not completed merely by showing your presence or being warm. A leader must possess strong character, self-discipline, and authority. Power is the cornerstone of charisma. It relates to your commitment to your principles, beliefs, and self-image. Let's say you're someone who doesn't drink alcohol. When your friends invite you to drink, you should be able to refuse. This is the strength of your character, and people gather behind strong leaders because they believe in their strength. In conclusion, charisma arises from a perfect balance of presence, warmth, and power. If you try too hard to make your presence felt, that is, by constantly talking about yourself or trying to stand out, people will eventually stop finding you credible. If you constantly act warmly, people will get tired of it. If you show too much power, people will feel pressured and they won't be able to trust you. Charisma is the balance of these three elements. Through this, people believe in the vision of the leader and follow them. Charisma will be one of the most important qualities that sets you apart on the journey of leadership and leaves a lasting impact. Let's move on to our final topic, empathy. At first glance, this concept may not seem very important, but it is actually as essential as the others. Empathy is when a person puts themselves in someone else's shoes and tries to understand their feelings, thoughts, and perspective. The basic rule in empathy is this: before engaging with others, take 1 to 2 minutes to pause and think. Ask yourself, how would I feel in their place? How can I solve this situation without hurting, offending, or forcing them? This simple yet powerful rule will make more sense through examples. Let's say one of your employees is constantly late for work. Before criticizing them in front of everyone, take a moment to put yourself in their shoes. Perhaps you used to be someone who was often late and eventually overcame it. In that case, invite them to speak privately and share how you dealt with your own lateness. I assure you that with this approach, the person will recognize the situation before you even begin your criticism. This way, your employee will not only try to improve the situation, but also respect you more because you offered advice instead of criticizing. Another example, let's say you are a smoker and your child has started smoking, but you don't want them to. Instead of lecturing them for hours, pause and put yourself in their place for a moment. Most likely your child started smoking because they admired you. Don't tell them to quit smoking, let it be their decision. Just share how you started smoking, how you were excluded from that basketball team you wanted to join because of smoking, how people distanced themselves from you due to the smell of smoke, how you now cough because of it, and the health issues that will arise if you don't quit smoking. Finally, tell them that you are planning to quit. Just say these things, but don't tell them they need to quit. I promise, with this approach, your child will likely quit smoking on their own. If you quit smoking, the chance of them not quitting will be very slim. I could list more examples, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. Here's what you need to do. Before you interact with others, take a minute or two to ask yourself these simple questions. How would I feel if I were them? What kind of behavior wouldn't hurt me? How would I want to do something willingly? These simple but highly effective questions will work wonders. If you want to be a leader, you must be able to put yourself in others' shoes, share their feelings and thoughts. This is one of the most important qualities that will make people be influenced by you, like you, and most importantly, respect you. In conclusion, to be an effective leader, qualities such as communication skills, charisma, and empathy are crucial. Building strong connections with others, earning their trust, and inspiring them are the cornerstones of leadership. I hope this video has provided enough information about leadership. If you have anything to add, disagree with, or want to comment on, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Lastly, I should add that true leadership is more about guiding people than controlling them. Someone who develops these qualities will not just be a leader, but a change maker who inspires those around them.